sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. This is MacDonald Carey, and these are the days of our lives.
Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So tonight's statement is, Kristen kills Sophia on Days of Our Lives. And who's Nicole? I don't see Nicole. Where's Nicole at? Anthony, the number one YouTuber, how you doing? What's good, Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ? How you doing tonight? Amy's in the chat, how you doing tonight? Alice is in the chat, how you doing tonight? Crystal is in the chat, how you doing tonight? And who's Nicole? It says hi, Nicole. Who's Nicole? Is there a Nicole here? I see Nicole. Jonathan, how you doing tonight? Okay, the sad thing is that even though I was annoyed with Sophia, I I still felt like Days of Our Lives is better than General Hospital today. Like, I'm doing good, Allison. I had something I had to take care of, which is why it took me a whole half an hour to get on here, but I finally took care of it, so I'm very happy. Now I'm happy. Sean, how you doing tonight? Ron, how you doing tonight? So I'm better now. Better now. You for me personally, I would sit there and say Days of Our Lives took number two today. Young and the Restless, I actually liked. No, no, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Two was the Young and the Restless. Two was Young and the Restless. What's good, Sean? How you doing tonight? I'm better now. I'm better now. Ron, how about we stick to the soap operas? Yeah, let's just talk about the soaps. Let's not go there. Um, but I'm doing a lot better now. And your memories, okay? Yeah, it was a long day, Sean. I know you wake up pretty early. I woke up pretty early today too, 4 o'clock in the morning. Whew. Oh, she damn well. You absolutely right. She will get hers on Monday. Yeah. Mm. I should have planned it out better though too, Sean. That was also my mistake. I went to bed later than I should have. So I gotta be better for those 4 o'clock in the mornings because they are a bitch. They are a hardcore, straight up bitch. There's no going around that. What's up, Anthony? Again, I got to be better. I got to be better, especially listen, because like for a 4 a.m. wake up call, I got to be better. Well, I was actually kind of disappointed in myself, but I'm gonna do shit better next week, though. But anyway, I made it. And I'm very, 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 very fucking happy about that. Who skipped out the room faster, Deacon when Sheila came in, or Valentine when Jack? I was sit there and say Valentine. Valentine was like a fucking dude was like a vampire. Johnson says I have a hunch that Kristen would turn on Sophia. Hmm. Cherry ice cream, how you doing tonight? I saw the video you made, and that's all I have to say. Oh no, I saw your comments. I saw your comments, Sean. But I don't normally tend to do stuff that's like political. I want to sit. I wanted to sit there and focus on the joke. So, but it's like I was like, come on, seriously? Like it's like I was like, we really doing this again? But anyway, we're not going to talk about this here. And I am glad that you did watch the video, though, Sean. So thank you. I appreciate that. But yes, happy Friday, my gorgeous queen. So yeah, that's why I was like. But anyway, like I said, Sean, I appreciate you watching it the next day. Thank you. Honestly, tell you, Jonathan, I want her to be gone. I hope that she's gone. I have a feeling that Days of Our Lives. Sometimes I feel like Days of Our Lives just literally sit there. Okay, so I got something to say about that, and I'm gonna get to that in 1 second. Sometimes I feel like Days of Our Lives just kind of shrugs your shoulders sometimes and feel like, all right, fuck it, whatever. What's good, Dominics? And Francis says, was that Luna on B&B? I was wondering that too. Yeah, I did, Jonathan. I was wondering that too, Francis, because the hair and everything like that, and like why else would she freak out? So part of me kind of hopes that Luna's back in a weird way. Okay, so I gotta ask you a question. I gotta ask you a question, Sean, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But I gotta ask you a question because this is like the second time you said that. Let me ask you a question, Sean. Does GH need Jason back, or do you just want Jason back? That's my question. Does GH need Jason back, or do you just really want Jason back? I'm kind of over this. Yeah, okay. I kind of felt like it was more the latter. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, and this is just okay. And here's my thing about that. So you both sit there and say that Jason is needed. Let me put it this way: if one person is needed to come back, that means that the show is in serious trouble. So honestly, to tell you the truth, if y'all sit there saying that Jason needs to come back, I'm like, that is basically what they're saying. This show is not performing how it should. Because one person should never have to sit there and be enough to save a whole show. Spider Quick says, I've watched Days all week and it's finally good again. All it took was joy returning Days, yeah. Oh, I have my reasons, my love. It's not to be it's not it's not to be honest. Clips I watched are bad. I'm just not there saying like if the show needs one person to come back, then like the show is in trouble. Like the characters need to be better. The writing needs to be better. Um, Spider Quick says, I've watched Days all week and it's finally good again. All it took was joy returning. Days is finally back to its glory. R.I.P. Sophia and damn Kristen done tricked her. Damn. Uh, I mean, honestly, tell you the truth, I'm not gonna lie, it was funny when she took that rock and just that bow. I was like, you know what? That's what you get. That listen, when her mom was like, "I see a bright future for you," in my head I was like, "Listen, either your future could be in jail or your future could be 6 feet under. I don't care which one. I just need something. I need it to go in one of those directions." As says everybody at work, and just want to say I want Sophia gone, but not like this. And Kristen still needs to go down for getting her to go after Johnny. Yeah. Um, I don't mean he needs to carry the whole. There are very just loose ends. Okay, all right. So I feel where you're coming from. But it's good to see you. We're gonna have fun this weekend. We're gonna have fun this weekend. That's what I'll sit there and say. Throw her in the water like she was a feather. I don't know if Sophia returns after that. I think she's gonna forget. You didn't see the previews, but here's the thing. I will sit there and say this quite quick. Um, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. We're gonna have fun this weekend. What do you think Cash is going to do with Jaws? Nothing. Well, no, he's going to threaten her. He's going to threaten her, and he's going to threaten to expose her if she doesn't stop poking her poking her nose in business where it don't belong. That's what he's going to do. All right, sounds good, Ed. Yeah, that's exactly why I poured it out, cat lady. Remember you just sat there and said, "Why'd you pour it out?" If you're gonna sit there and tell jokes, can you at least be consistent? Yeah, that's what I was gonna sit there and say. It cut out, Jonathan. And somebody said that they had to go to Instagram to watch the whole thing. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's bad. I mean, he does it and say he want money and power and stuff like that. He's not altruistic or whatever, but like, you know, thank you, Francis. Yeah, me too, Jonathan. I mean, I had to get through all the goddamn thirst traps or whatever, but eventually I got. Also, I saw the new actor that's going to be taking over for Javi, and I can see like, okay, you know what? He looks the part. Hopefully, he can act, and it won't be like trash ass Sophia or the actress that plays Sophia. Listen, I don't think she's a bad person. I just don't think that she's a good actress. Kelly, you stop it. Don't you start. Don't you start with your shenanigans being a bad kitty. Spike Quick says, I'm not saying this because I'm a Brit fan. I'm saying that because it's the truth. Brit wasn't wrong for telling on Josh. She did what she had to. Plus, Josh can't expect loyalty when she sold her on. I mean, yeah, I was going to sit there and say that. It was instant karma. It was literally instant karma. Um, my whole thing is, yeah, he was. I just part of me, I'm not gonna. Well, first of all, I will sit there and say I'm glad that the episode wasn't too damn long. Like, yeah, pretty much, Sean. That's exactly what ended up happening. And then Jack came in there, and blah 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 blah. Okay, Cat Lady, we get it. I love you, but um, Sometimes I just like this Sophia story has just been vexing, and I get to a point where I start to just kind of check out and just be like, all right, whatever. Just like can we just wrap this up, you know? Okay, so it's interesting that you say that, Spider Craig, because she didn't give us an actual reason why she did that. I literally sat there and said the same thing. What's good, Sean? Um, I guess my theory, which I normally don't do theories or whatever, but my guess is that she wants to be back in the game. She doesn't want to be a sleeper agent anymore. And she's like, hey, listen, if I break up Jack and Carly, then he'll put me back on the case and he won't have to be sitting there trying to coddle me and sideline me because it's too dangerous. Because she did sit there and say, hey, listen, if you weren't sitting there dating Mom Dukes, you would sit there and have me back on the case. But I'm like, you did all that. You sold out your mom sis where you could be back on the case. Like, really? What's good, Darby? You did all like that's. I mean, that's my educated guess. If I had to sit there and take a guess, that's my educated guess. Um, because otherwise, I'm like, you know that once he finds out, your mom is doing serious prison time. Like, there's no way of going around that. Oh, I'm not gonna sit there and say, oh, well, he's gonna find out anyway. What are you talking about? Oh, you're not gonna. I mean, like I said, it's just a guess because in all reality, it's quite quick. It's we don't really know what her motivations is until she says it. So we're just kind of left guessing. Also, seeing Brick with Jordan was just like, what the fuck? Like I said, GH has been coasting this whole week, and YNR has been literally, what's good, Jarens? YNR has been kicking ass and taking names for the most part. I don't normally sit there and promote YNR, but like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with Stephen A. Smith. I don't have a problem with Brick. It was a pointless scene. It was a pointless scene that didn't really go anywhere. That whole Savoy club scene was a pointless scene that didn't go anywhere. We didn't even get to sit there and see the Aladdin dude that everyone was sitting there like, talking about. Like I said, it just seemed like they just been checking out. Um, and for Friday's episode, come on, seriously? Dumpson. Yeah, they don't even know. They don't even know what to do with Daniel. Like that dude don't even have a job. He don't have a job. I hope that hope goes to Logan. I I'm not gonna lie. I was dealing with someone on the phone, trying to clear something up, and I was listening to that conversation. I was like, Hope, stop sitting there trying to talk to Stuffy and trying to talk reason in her. You're like, so when am I gonna get a date? When I'm gonna get a date? I was like, you can look at her face and tell by her tone that she is not going to like she doesn't care. She does not care. She does not care. And she's literally sitting there talking down to you in a sense. I'm like, well, if you don't sit there and give me a date, then I'm like, you just do it then. And this whole whining and whining and whining, you know how she feels about you. You know how she feels about the Logans in general. It's it's weird for me to sit there and say I love B&B. I like B&B, but sometimes their fucking conversations can just Yeah, they did their thing, Jonathan. They did their thing on cliffhangers. YNR did their thing on cliffhangers, you know. Oh, it's on Instagram. It's on Instagram, Spider Quake. Yeah, I don't know why they put it on Instagram. That didn't make any damn sense to me either. Um, I I still don't understand why they put it on Instagram. But thank you, Darby. Yes, hit that damn like button because it does help. I think she just needs to just stop from it. They're trying to beg her, you know. And listen, it could be a business decision. Hey, listen, we're doing Granddad right now. We're gonna sit there and keep your line going. But she wasn't wrong when she was like, your line has underperformed in the past. And she had that look on her face. I was like, "Hope, well, it's true. Your line did underperform. Like, let's not sit there and try to act like it didn't. So why are you upset with her? No reality, it's been like that for years. All Liam, Angelica, how you doing tonight? I'm doing good. And when this drink kicks in, I'm gonna do even better. Yeah, that was a little kind of annoying. She was like, I killed him. Like, okay, you wanna tell us how? I just did it. Then we see in the previews he's in a desert or a green screen desert, and then his eyes were, that's right, Chivs. How many people buy couture clothes anyway? Rich people. Rich people. Let's tell you, let's be honest, this is more just about propping up granddad, lying to granddad, um, pacifying granddad. I, I. And she did sit there and say, hey, listen, if you don't put out my line soon, my line is going to die. So, like, I'm, you know, just fucking leave. Like, why are we still having this conversation for? I don't even understand that. Is white wine and spirit wine good together? Oh, I don't know. I haven't started. I don't know how Hope stands up straight because she doesn't seem to have a backbone, considering how much begging she be doing by Stephanie. Just for the full preview, do you think it's a dream? I think it's a dream. I really do think it's a dream. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I really hope it's a dream. Because I'm like, yo, I don't understand how she's not gonna get any prison time. I also want to know how did EJ know that Kristen was the one that sent Sophia after Johnny? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Yeah, exactly, Francis. And that's the thing. Like, this is well. First of all, like Dolomedic said, Hope didn't want to answer it. Hope was like, I want to sit there and stay out of it. I want to stay neutral. I want to stay sweetened. And then there's a point where Hope was like, well, listen, he did sit there and go to Logan. He did sit there and, he signed the contract. They paid for it. So, like, and he was rejected out of his own company. Hell, you threw him a surprise retirement party that he didn't know anything about. So, it's just so forces know they make most of their money from Hope from the Future and Steffi and Brooks lingerie. What Kristen reminds me of. I don't know why, but every time I sit there and I see Kristen, it reminds me of Sharon Stone. Like the 90s, early 90s, mid 80s Sharon Stone. I was just so man, I'm not gonna lie. That was I'm not gonna lie. I'm so over some of these characters. Yeah, she always from day one. I was like, I was like, I really like Kristen. I was like, I really like Kristen. I was like, but why do I like her so much? And then I was like, oh yeah, Sharon Stone. Which I'm not gonna lie, it's a movie I still gotta sit there and watch. Um, the famous one with Michael Douglas, I think. Fatal Attraction. I think it's called Fatal Attraction. I still gotta watch that. I never watched that movie. I think I was way too young to sit there and watch that movie. What's good, Tracy Steves? Basic Instincts. That's what it's called. Thank you. Ah, okay. Basic Instincts. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can probably find it on one of my many, many, many apps. So thank you, Dominics. I'm upset with Eric is letting them blame Katie for stealing his design. He begged her to let him design for her, and he got paid. Those were Katie's designs to use. Exactly. And I find it funny because, like, Bill, now I've seen The Shining. I've seen The Shining. Hell, actually, I saw both versions of The Shining. The one with the croquet mallet. Exactly, Francis. And Bill gets to a point where Bill has to sit there and say it so many times. It's just hilarious. He's like, "Yo, listen, for the thousandth time, we paid this man. He literally came and wanted to work for us because his son, the dressmaker, um, you know, you think so, Sean? No, you're right. You're right. You're right, Francis. Yeah. No. Oh, wow. So, like the Foresters, that was like the leader from history. Hmm. Okay. But yeah, like I said, for the most part, I would definitely sit there and say Days and GH, and then B&B. B&B was third. Beyond the Gates wasn't really on for the most of the part for most of it. So like I'm not counting Beyond the Gates, but like that's all it was. If he finds out it's Valentine, he should. I mean, I have no idea what he's going to do. There's things I want him to do. I don't know what he will do. There's things that I want him to do. I want him to sit there and take Valentine in, send Carly to fucking jail because she is harboring a fucking fugitive. Um, and I want him to have no fucking mercy along with it. Like no mercy whatsoever. None. Amber is basically Brooke's version of Brooke. She was basically Brooke's karma for all the dirt she did. Okay. 26 people and 15 likes. Just hit that like button because it really does help. All right, fuck it. I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna hit the like button. No, but seriously, hit the like button though because it does help. Oh, cool. 17. All right, we're going along. Um, this is something that I've said like so many times. I don't really understand what people see in Carly, especially when they find out Carly and Jason's history. I feel like every man that has fallen in love with Carly are a bunch of morons. I seriously, I think every fucking man that has decided to love that woman is a moron because she will always put Jason before them. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna be sitting there in a relationship with, with somebody else in there. You know, Emerald belonged from the wrong side of the tracks who seduced Brooke's son Rick and married her way into the family like Brooke did. Oh shit! Oh yeah, they gonna have to bring Amber in now. Now I want to sit there and see this Amber chick. Okay, all right. Now I want to sit there and see who this want to see this Amber chick. Yeah, I want to sit there and see who exactly, friends. I want to see who this Amber chick is. Um, yeah, and that's I was gonna sit there and say she was on YNR too. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I gotta sit there and say, like I said before, YNR has definitely stepped up. I would YNR is missing a young cast though. I will sit there and say that they are kind of missing somewhat of a young. Are they? All right. I feel like they are in a sense, right? YNR is actually missing a young cast. You know, I remember Deacon was on there. Hell, David Hasselhoff was a dropper. Oh, wow. Okay, Allison. I didn't know you knew. I didn't know you know about a dropper. Whoa. Okay. Those are words I would never sit there and see you that I would think you would ever type. Still not feeling. I'm assuming you're still not feeling Laura right, Sean? Amber is Deke's mother. Ah, she was awesome. Brooke was dumb enough to hire a cute 18-year-old to be the nanny for her 16-year-old son. Basically, she. Oh shit. Yeah, I figured that. I figured it, Sean. Listen, listen. I am not shaming you. I was just surprised because well, yeah, I like her, but I know some people, some people don't. So I always sit there and say to each their own, right? That's good. That's good. That's what we gotta talk about. We gotta talk about Stephanie. Okay? We gotta talk about Stephanie on Days of Our Lives and how she thinks that Alex is smothering her. And she said, you know what? Not to sound harsh, but I didn't sign up for that. I didn't sign up to be with a man who has a child with another woman. Okay. Since we're gonna sit there and play by your rules, Alex didn't sign up to be with a broken wife. Because right now, Stephanie, you're broken. Now it sucks and it's a shame that it happened to you, but you are broken. And he has to constantly sit there and tiptoe constantly around your damn feelings. And every time he tries to do something, he winds up doing the wrong thing no matter what he does. So I think right now, y'all need to break up. He needs to sit there and focus on his daughter, maybe having a relationship with Joy, or maybe not because it didn't work out the first time. But either way, like I said, Stephanie, you are broken. You are a broken woman right now. That is the bottom line. You need therapy. You need a lot of therapy. Yeah. I mean, listen, she's being honest, but I'm like, listen, if you want to be honest, then let's be honest. Let's be all the way fucking honest. I hate sex scenes, so I wouldn't want to see it, but they all just have their dynamic that no one else really matters other than each other and maybe their kids. Yeah. Everybody else is collateral damage. Yeah. Um, maybe. I don't know. I mean, the only way I can see her going to prison is if she has a longer stay on The Young and the Restless as Patty. Like, can't they just call her Patricia? It's like, they really have to sit there and call her Patty. Every time I think of Patty, I think of Patty mayonnaise from Dog. Like, yeah, I mean, she has a longer stint on what you call it. Yeah. Listen, Francis, Nickelodeon was my childhood. Okay? So some people's childhood was what, Disney. Yeah, I think it was Disney. Yeah, some people's childhood was Disney. Mine was Nickelodeon. Ren and Stimpy. The stuff that I really shouldn't have been watching. Was good, CK. It's not terrible. Not terrible. Jonathan, I've heard worse. I've literally heard worse. I mean, yeah, Latasha, she did have the hair for it. When did Eileen Davis leave? I think she left like a couple of months ago, or close to almost a year ago, actually. Because her last stuff was with her sister Tracy, and being involved with that doctor that wound up being the evil twin. Yeah, well, I didn't discover Cartoon Network until like much later on. So I mean, I also taught you, mine was Nickelodeon and MTV, which again was not idea of my childhood, but it was MTV. I don't know about that, Latasha, because like when he looked down at all the clothes that was there, I guess we're gonna sit there and see on Monday. But like I could have swore he saw like Valentine's clothes there. Um, plus the two drinks and everything like that. Like really? Was you gonna sit there and say, "Oh, well, I was too lazy to sit there and get a bigger glass, so I just..." See? Okay, here's my okay, and I'm not gonna. I know we're still talking about soaps. It's okay, so it stood for music television, but if we're gonna be honest, I don't think that MTV. I don't think that like people sat there and said like, "Oh, I stopped watching MTV because they stopped playing music videos." It was never really about music per se. It was more about the culture, the youth and everything like that. It wasn't necessarily about just music. I feel like there's a lot of people that tend to get that confused a little bit. Like it was never just like, yeah, they played music, but it was never just about music. It was about the culture and stuff like that. It's like people that get the Fast and the Furious movies, confused. It's like it was never about racing. It was more about heists and stealing and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I think it was fun. Then it turned into reality show. Yeah, and they still play music. They just start turning it more into reality shows than just the music. Yeah, it was a part of their identity. I'm just saying it wasn't their whole identity. You know, or something. Cassius might send Jocelyn away to just like rock them. Reality TV ruined TV for me. Oh, if you don't mind me asking. Yes, they did. Are you? I'm debating that. I mean, I'm gonna see it. Um, I probably want to see it in the theaters because I don't know if I feel like I don't know if I feel like getting HBO Max just to watch it. So I think I might see it in the movie theaters. Oh, you just all the scripted stuff. Okay, I got it. Okay, okay, I got it. Oh no, it does, Francis. It does. I mean, I'm seeing Street Fighter first. Nah, fuck it. Mortal Kombat is coming out first, so I guess I gotta watch that first. You're correct, Francis. You're correct. You're absolutely correct. I saw you and me and Destiny in the theaters. It was okay, but not worth the $14. $14 sounds like a steal. Like some places I go and I see it and it's like $18. Oh, old school. Okay, CK. All right. I see you. No, yeah, and I trust me, I get it. Like it didn't help. I wouldn't necessarily sit there and say it ruined TV for me because like you can just make a conscious choice to just watch the shows that you want to watch. You know, that was with a student discount, but you're right. Yeah, no, 13 is actually yeah, exactly. I was at 13 is actually good because that's like for me, I look at it, it's like okay, listen, it's like $10 plus tax. You know, thank you, Francis. Yes, hit that like button. Yeah, listen, it's just like I miss good comedies like Sanford and Son, Seinfeld, Married Children. That was actually really funny, Sean. So like watching those shows back then was funny. I mean I don't feel like they still hit though. You know, like I can't watch I can't Seinfeld I could still watch for. I don't know. I don't know if the jokes still hit the same, but back then it was funny. No, I don't even think it's about like being cheap, Allison. Like $18 is a lot of money. $18 is a lot of money, and then you have to sit in the movie theaters for at least 20 minutes for trailers. Like, that's a lot. What do you think Matt Clark would do next? I have no idea. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, I guess my whole thing was like, I just knew that like she was being so evasive, and then that's my whole thing with Sienna. It's like you want these people to trust you because you know that they're looking at you sideways already, and then you start giving the sketchy ass story, and you just think like, you know, did Don the oh, I have no idea what that is. Just it just 3 years ago, it was $7. Yeah, it's definitely went up. It's went up, and like I said, like the prices are $18, give or take. You're sitting in a theater for 20 minutes, and then depending on what movie you're gonna watch, it could be 2 hours. Let's say 2 hours and 20 minutes. That means that you're generally in the theaters for almost 3 hours. Like, do you really want to sit there and stay in a movie theater for 3 fucking hours? I don't know about you. That's a long goddamn time. Then we had $5 one event 10 years ago. Oh, I didn't know that. It's not, I mean, it's not even so much that. It's just like, I have streaming services. Like, why am I going to sit there and go through all that? Half my day is gone because it practically 3 hours was spent in the movie theaters. And I can just wait till it comes on a streaming, watch it, pause it, and just kind of chill out. Movie theaters are practically fucking dead, if we're going to be honest. So it is what it is. Um, yeah, like I said, matinees is great. Have a good night, Francis. Thank you for coming through. Johnson says for me, the movie theaters is about the experience. Yeah, listen, I'm not here to say I'm not against the movie. I'm not against movie theaters. It's just like I start to feel like there's more negative than positives, and that's my issue. It's not something to say I'm never going to go to the theaters, but like okay, I'll go to the theaters for the Marvel movies or a Fast and Furious movie or like a really good action movie. But like if it's a horror movie or whatever, like the new Evil Dead movie, no, I'll wait for it to come on. Yeah, like I said, Allison, it's the and granted that depends if you go to a good theater. Yes, Sean, have a good night. I will sit there and see you tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Um, and don't worry, it won't be any Nancy, at least for tomorrow. Okay, it's not gonna be Nancy. I specifically picked a soap opera, and she's not gonna be there. Yeah, me too, Jonathan. But when they charge $14, you can get a monthly subscription cheaper than that. Now we have a problem. Yeah, I figure I'll, give you a heads up, Sean. But I appreciate you. So, but yeah, and I mean, I know we're still talking about the soaps and stuff like that, but Jonathan's like, I go for the experience. But what happens when the experience is tainted? Okay, good. Yes, yes, do that, Jonathan. Yeah, whenever you can. This way I can start, I can start uploading it tomorrow. I think the Beyonce film was 25. But that's the thing, though, Tracy. You're not just like he talks about the movie experience, and I'm like, well, but what happens when the movie experience isn't really good? You know, the ticket prices are higher. You're in the movie theaters for 3 hours, and that's again, that's if you go to a good theater, because you know you can. Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you, Jonathan. I mean, like I said, if you can tomorrow, as early as you can tomorrow, that'd be really gracious, where I can start to read up on the character, and most importantly, screen record it, because screen recording it takes time. So that, but you know, whenever you can, I appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. You not. All right, where's Black Purple? Hey, Black Purple, how are you doing tonight? Angelica, I don't see Black Purple here. Yeah, you go to a movie theater, somebody's talking in the background. You go to a movie theater around like 2 o'clock or whatever. You have a bunch of teenagers there and stuff. They're talking throughout the movies. They're on their cell phones talking on their movie. Like it's just like this is why I sit there and say like the movie experience can be tainted. It's like why deal with that? I can just fucking stream it on Paramount and just watch it there. Like I used to specifically go to the movie theaters at 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. because I didn't feel like dealing with high school kids coming in at 3 o'clock and just fucking it up for everyone. So that's why I'm sitting there saying like the theaters are practically fucking dead. That was like, I mean, no, seriously, is anyone seeing Black Purple? Because I don't see Black Purple. Yeah, where's Carissa? I guess not. Anyway, Matt Clark. I don't know what he's going to do. Um, there's so much that's going on YNR right now. There's Sally and the baby. I'm pretty sure you have Audra trying to get back with Noah, and you know she's competing against. Okay, if I'm going to be honest, there's not really much There's no competition between Audra Charles and Sienna. Okay, if we're going to be honest, like there is there is no like competition between those two, but like because this is mostly a woman's show. Um, she's competing with Audra. Um, you got that going on. And Daniel, Jonathan, have you been watching? You've been okay, so you've been watching it. Daniel having this conversation with Christine about Phyllis and everything like that. I was like, yo, you just practically like sold out your mom. You're talking to the new DA about what your mom has allegedly done. Like, are you fucking serious? When Phyllis found out, Phyllis was like, you know what? Listen, I'm never gonna forgive you. I'm just never going to forgive you at all. That's what I was like when she said like I black purple. I was like I didn't black purple. So like if people can see black purple, like oof, okay, I'm not gonna lie. It is. I don't know why it is so goddamn hot in here. You know what? Fuck it, because Kyrie's isn't here tonight. So I'm gonna turn on my AC. My God. Like I don't know where y'all was at on, but for some odd reason it is hot as fuck. Your audience, competing for Noah, Phyllis, Billy, and Kane, and even Victor could go to jail. I'm totally cool with Victor going to jail. I gotta upload some more YNR pictures too. You're right. Um, I had a. Well, it doesn't cover the whole thing, but I actually find it funny. Jonathan's like, "Do you have any other YNR pictures?" Like Jonathan basically sat there and said, "Okay, you said that twice." But Jonathan basically was sitting there saying, "Yo, can you not show Nikki?" He was like, "Can you not show Nikki Newman?" My my issue was that it was chilly. You know, I wake up at 4 o'clock to go on to work, and it's chilly. And then when I get out, it's hot. So it's like okay, so that's how I generally wind up getting sick because it's chilly in the morning, and then when I get out, I meant to say, do you have any other than oh no, I'm gonna upload some more tomorrow though. I was like I have this one. No, I don't have any big days pictures. Um, I think for at this I think Sunday I'll put up different pictures from the different soap operas. So I'll do one for day. I'll do some for Days and GH and YNR and B&B and Beyond the Gates. So I think I'll do that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, Johnson. Yeah, Sammy Brady. Yeah. Why does Kyrie's hate her so much? Oh, you got to ask Kyrie's that question. It'll definitely fill you in. Same here. Cooler in the mornings, warmer in the evenings, or throughout the day. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, and it's so annoying because like I okay, obviously people hate being sick, but I really hate being sick because when I'm sick, it makes what I do more difficult, right? I mean, I generally hate going to work when I'm sick, and then when I'm trying to do, oh no, I'm not doing Sammy Brady tomorrow. No, no, Alice, I'm doing somebody else from another soap opera that nobody is going to see coming. Nobody's going to see coming. I mean, we can listen, Alice, and we can definitely do a Sammy Brady, but I got something fun for tomorrow, and of course, my guy Jonathan. Oh, absolutely, 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 Jonathan. It was time for Josh to be called out for being WSB agent. He's not very good at subterfuge at all. Oh, it's a surprise, but it's I don't want to sit there and say what soap opera it is because people are gonna figure it out. But it's a soap opera that No one's gonna guess because I haven't done it before, Allison. Because we pretty much do all the soaps except for CBS, and there's a soap opera that I haven't actually done that is going to surprise the members. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take this off. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, listen, you should join. I mean, we do Days of Our Lives stuff. Um, Ryan's Hope. No, but I mean, we can definitely do that. But no, we're not doing Ryan's Hope though. I would sit there and say we're not doing Ryan's Hope. Um, it's funny, Jonathan. You wouldn't even guess it. It's funny. I sit there and say Jonathan wouldn't guess it, and Jonathan would sit there and take that as a challenge. Uh, I will never underestimate this man's intelligence. I swear. Well, the other members aren't here, so that was good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually generally fucking impressed. I'm speechless. No. Um, and plus, Jeans has been giving me problems. Jonathan, you what? Wait. Okay, so I'm assuming you watched. It was a really good guest, TK. I literally sat there. I was like, it's not Ryan Sophia. It was like, is it Sunset Beach? I'm like, wow, okay. No, it's not her. Um, but it is Sunset Beach though. I'm not gonna lie, you actually guessed that shit literally on the second fucking try. And here's the thing: there's soap operas that we haven't covered that I do want to cover. Um, okay, fuck it. I'll sit there and say it. It's Derek. Um, Derek has a twin brother named Ben. Apparently, he has an accent and everything. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Xander from Days of Our Lives. He reminds me of Xander from Days of Our Lives. We did do Jerry Jacks, Alice, and we did one night of Jerry Jacks, and then we tried to do another night of Jerry Jacks, and they literally cut off the stream. I've been sitting there saying that for a hot minute, Latasha. So I feel you on that. CK said I love Sunset Beach. I used to watch it on my pom pom. Pom pom? Pom pom? Really? I'm not gonna lie. I can kind of see it because he did 90210, so I can definitely see it. My grandfather. Okay. Okay, Jonathan. I got it. Okay. I gotta ask you a question. How did you know it was Sunset Beach? I'm not gonna lie. He kind of guessed that shit a little bit too well. So so now I gotta sit there and see how did you guess that one, Jonathan? That is my question. Like how did you guess that shit? Y'all saw that, right? Like he literally guessed that shit on a second fucking try. There's another show called I'm not sure. You're a very smart man, Jonathan. I'm very impressed. So Carly is going to be torn between Valentine and Anna when she comes back. You know, Latasha, I love how Carly was jealous, but yet Carly had no problems with their um, banging Jack. That's a good question, though, because like I took a break, I came back, and apparently they said that Jason um, unalived Carly, I mean unalived Jerry Jacks off screen. And see that's my whole here's my whole thing, Latasha. Lauren is also getting up in Michael's face like, you need to help her, you need to do this. He is helping her. He basically sitting there saying, give this old man back his company. Give this old man back his company, otherwise you're gonna go to jail. Exactly. Thank you, CK. So like her being jealous and upset is like, yo, are you serious? Yeah, Allison, I had to sit there and read it because like I did take a break from General Hospital for a little bit, and apparently Jason like killed. Oh no, that's Jerry Jackson. No, I'm sorry. Um, he killed Alcazar off screen. Jerry Jacks. That's a good question. Oh, Jerry Jacks was in a WSB prison and he escaped. And Robert was like, "Yo, listen, if you ever come to Port Charles, I'm gonna kill you." That's what happened. I know that. Yeah, Jerry Jacks was in the WSB. Yeah, Jerry Jacks was in a WSB prison somewhere, and he escaped. So, yo, I am like I said, I am so feeling fucking Willow right now. I am. I'm truly fucking like I'm truly fucking feeling Willow right now. Yeah, no, he's still alive. He is still alive. Angelica says, I feel bad for Michael. Has three baby mamas. Two of them are psychos, and another one are con artists and drug addict crackheads, which is Nell and Willow and Sasha. Listen, okay, it's really funny. I was gonna sit there and make like a joke out of that, but like, listen, I mean, he picked them. Part of me is like, Angelica, how could you sit there and feel bad for Michael when he picked those women? Pick those women. He chose to sit there and be with those women. He chose to take those women in his orbit. So like, that's on him. But I mean, you may have a more lighter heart than I. Yeah, you may have more of a heart than I do. Well, yeah, that's true too. Nobody is perfect. Um, the sad thing is that like I like Sasha up until a point. Her story got bad. Okay, she went from doing the whole modeling thing to being a chef at the Quartermains. So her story started to go downhill. Right? And you know what? Okay, I'm gonna sit there and say something that people aren't gonna like, but because I'm a dick, I'm gonna say it anyway. Sasha used to have some really good stories. What's good, Apadoc? Sasha used to have some really good stories. The fans started complaining, saying that her stories was too dark. Oh my god, it's almost like the writers don't like Sasha. They keep like they're writing her going through stuff. Oh my god. So what did they do? They decided to give Sasha a story when she was a chef at the Quartermains, working for Tracy. Why the fuck is Sasha a goddamn chef? Because the fans complained that her story was too dark. So her story started to turn into shit, and I blame the fans for that. And then what really got me with Sasha was she said, and I fucking quote, I have every right to judge you. After that, I was pretty much just over Sasha. I was like, nope, fuck her ass. You ain't God, you ain't Jesus. I don't know what universe you honestly think you have the right to judge anyone. Sasha, you came in town as a drifter, as a grifter. You pretended to be somebody's daughter. You made your mistakes. You got hooked on snow. Okay? You did your penance and everything like that. But my point is, you made your mistakes as well. What universe do you honestly think you can judge anyone? Fucking human, we're flawed. We're all fucking flawed. She actually said that shit with a straight face. I have every right to judge you. Now I know people will sit there and say, well, Willow did sit there and take Sasha's baby and moved her around from place to place. Yes, that was fucked up, Willow. But girl, you have no room to judge anybody about anything. Robin Murray is likely going to be soon if Sasha returns. She will most likely than not be played by a different actress. Yeah, what else? Oh, Jonathan, since you're here, I want to ask you a question. Seeing as Sasha have every right to judge what so when did Sasha become Jesus? When did Sasha become Jesus? And I'm pretty sure that says Satan. So but I know you mean Sasha. So when is Sasha with all her mistakes that she's done has every right to sit there miss no miss my point. What was your point? It says Sasha has every right to judge Willow. Where's the point at? Today I got an alert you're alive, but lately I haven't. I'm sorry to hear. I'm sorry about that, Tracy. Yeah, okay. Oh, it's okay, Eagle. Exactly, Eagle. Yes, yes. No, I'm sorry, Tracy. I usually come on at 8, but I had to take care of something today. I'm glad you're here though, Tracy. And see, that's Tracy. This is exactly why I like to have. Um, oh, so everyone is Jesus now. What are you basing this off of, Apodog? You said anyone can judge Willow, so you can judge Willow then, right? Because you've never made any mistakes in your entire life, right? So we're going on Sasha. What are your days? Um, Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Friday. Yeah, no, in Wednesday and Friday. Oh, okay. I was just wondering, Apodog. I was just wondering, but no, I'm on Wednesdays and Fridays. So that's my new schedule now. It's still gonna be 8 o'clock though. It's still gonna be 8 o'clock. I was just checking out the dog. I was just checking. Yeah, no, it's cool. It was cool. I'm not gonna lie. Bro. I was really about to sit there and going on off the dock for a minute. You know, when the new character comes to town, he is somewhat connected to Robin. His, I was, I was about to sit there and going on off the dock. I was like, bro, you should have got me before I start drinking. Um, oh, okay. That's why I got to ask you, Jonathan. Do you think Chase will cheat? I don't. I don't think he will, Tracy. I don't think he will. I just don't get that from him. I mean, like, I know he likes Willow and everything like that. Like, I mean, friendly or whatever, but I don't think he'll cheat though. Oh, that's why I got to ask you, Jonathan. So you're you're saying that Sophia is going to be on days, and you think that she's going to be the new Abigail? Okay, Jonathan, I got two questions for you. Do you like Abigail, and what? Why do you want Abigail to come back on the show? Ego says Kristen is being written as a character that's on her way out of days. She really RIP a teenager in the worst way. You know, it's funny, Eagle. I said that I was like, yo, listen, if she has a longer stay on a Young and the Restless as Patty, I can totally see her like being gone for a while. Maybe not permanently, but I can see Kristen being gone for a while. She put out a hit on her own nephew. Like you said, she RIP'd a teenager. So like I'm just like, girl, where do you go from there? I think he will because Tracy hinted. Hmm. I agree with that. I agree with that, Eagle. I agree with that. Oh, also, Jonathan, let me know if you're in the chat. I'm probably gonna have to ask Jonathan that question on Sunday. I swear, I feel like I'm gonna have to ask Jonathan that question on Sunday. Papa Doc said Chase was bamboozled by Nell, and he's going to be bamboozled by Willow. It's only a matter of time when he finds out about Brooklyn and the accent. He'll get drunk and hook up. Okay, there we go. Abigail is a legacy character, and she had a lot of interesting dramatic storylines, especially the idea story, and she and Chad made a very good couple. Okay. Jeremy is such a dope, and she really did not think his plan through. Hmm. Okay. Getting the girl back in town. Okay. I mean, I feel like Jeremy served his purpose on the show. I feel like he served his purpose on the show. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Jeremy as a character, and like the sad thing is that like yeah, he did sit there and try to make the moves on Stephanie, and he brought Joy back specifically to try to break those two up so this way he can get with Stephanie. But he wasn't wrong. Alex did deserve to know the truth, and when did you start watching it? I started watching it. I think like 2000 2001. I started watching 2001, I think. Um, yeah, I started watching 2001 because, like, that's when, no, I think it was either 2001 or 2000. Because remember, the shows was going on hiatus because of COVID and everything. And somebody suggested to me, like, yo, you should watch Days of Our Lives. They're still airing new episodes because of, you know, their time difference. So I started watching that. I started watching that in the year 2000. Yeah, I started watching that in the year 2000. I had to really think about that because I started doing YouTube mid 2019. Yeah, I'm sorry, 2020. Wow. Okay. Okay, the drinks are hitting me. No, yeah, 2020. Because I started 2019, mid 2019. So yeah, 2020. Yeah, if I've been watching the Days of Our Lives since 2000, I've been watching GH since 2000, and I started watching One Like Live 1998. Holy shit! I actually sat. I cannot believe I actually sat there and said I've been watching um, Days of Our Lives since the year 2000. And I think it was 2021. I started watching Bold, and then that following year I started watching Young and Restless. And that's at that point I was watching all four of the songs. Yeah, now Jonathan had to save me. It was like, yeah, I started watching in the year 2000, and Jonathan was like, it was like, no, you you started watching it 2020. Yeah, that's when I actually started watching it. Or you watched All My Children Were Like to Live in the 1970s. In 1970s. Okay. But I mean, like I said, for the most of the part, I was just watching GH. When I really started watching stuff, it was just GH. But I started doing YouTube, like I said, mid 2019. Or you started watching it in 2009. They show Matt Clark. No, he's not RIP. He's actually still alive. Yeah, no, Matt Clark is alive. I don't know what the fuck is going on with Sienna and her story and like her being like, "Oh, I killed him." Like, you didn't kill him. Like, I mean, you literally see the previews where he didn't kill him. So Matt Clark is still alive. That's actually really funny, Eagle. Um, Kyrie's Clark. He also sat there and said, like, I don't trust her. I don't trust Sienna. And also, the sad thing is that, like, I'm not gonna lie, Eagle. EJ does carry that fucking show. He does. It's funny, Allison. Okay, so last weekend we watched Santa Barbara. We watched Julie and Mason. You remember Julie and Mason, right, Allison? So we watched Julie and Mason last Saturday. And then sometime throughout the week, JLJ Media had the actor that played Mason. I think his name is Lane Davis or something like that. Lane Davies. Yeah, you remember Julie? Yeah, Julia Mason. I was. And Sunset Beach. Okay, are you watching all the good stuff, CK? Okay. Yep, Julie was played by Nancy. Um, and Dave was, he was Mason. So yeah, he was okay. So we did that on Saturday. The following week, JLJ Media had the actor that played Mason. And also he was on General Hospital. He played Cameron's dad. We we be watching a lot of fucking Passions. Passions is such an interesting soap opera. Like Days of Our Lives. They do the supernatural sometimes and everything else. Passions will lean into the supernatural stuff at times. Like especially in their later seasons, they just started just going full blown supernatural, anything goes. Like Passions to me is probably the most wild and bonkers soap opera. Oh, that was his name, Fergus. Okay, but he also played Cam. Is that his name? I know he played Cam's dad. Oh, okay. Passions was wild now. So Passions to me was probably the most wildest out there soap opera ever. But it was so entertaining. Like, oh my god, the stuff that they put on Passions, I was like, I, I was, I was floored. I was just like, wow, they're doing this story. Tell me the fucking dog. Yes, he did. Lane Dave. Okay, let's just make sure before I start going off. Oh shit. Okay, my bad. I meant he played Xander's dad. Yes, and I should definitely do that sober. I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna kind of go in on Jonathan for a hot minute, and then I was like, oh yeah, he's right. I was like, yeah, I was like, he's actually right. Cartoon says, hey, what's good? What are we talking about? Was this a kill in an episode or an actual? No, it was a kill in an episode. No, it was a TV show. And let's everyone say what's up to Cartoon Cottage 2024. No, it was in a TV show. Yeah, the actor Dave um, Laney Davis, he was on General Hospital. He played Xander's dad. Yeah, it's actually funny. We actually did a night. We actually did a random night, and he was on it. Of course, cartoon. Nah, this was a TV show, but I maybe since they're doing some actual like videos about like actual crimes and stuff. So she looks like the lady that plays Ari now nowadays. I will sit there and say no. That was a different guy. That was a different guy. Which I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so like part of me. Okay, I am not a romance person. Okay, so like don't ask me any romance questions. Cute couples. I don't know any of that stuff. But like Alexis hasn't had a boyfriend, a relationship in a hot minute. The last guy that she was with, he they killed him off. And at first it came across like he had an OD, like he had a you know substance abuse problem. And it turned out it was it was he persisted. She wanted revenge on Alexis for running over her basuda of a brother. Um, but my point is that like she didn't have a relationship. Like her her last great relationship with Julie. I don't do romance, and even I know like it was with Julie. Ferguson was the brother of Lex's boyfriend. Okay, yeah, it was with Julie. Yeah, she did. She had a one night stand with Ned. Olivia flipped out. She had a whole thing for like 6 months. We all had to endure it. I totally remember that. My point is that Alexis has not had a boyfriend, a relationship in fucking years. She hasn't had a relationship in years. And it only really made me sit there and think about that because, we did the Santa Barbara night where she was Julie and, she had her epic romance with a guy named Mason who but and that's the thing. Like I think she's done with romance, but that's the sad part, though, right? I mean, if you really think about it, when you give up on romance, when you give up on love, it's kind of like you're giving up on life. I mean, let's be honest, Allison. The woman, she's not 100 years old. She's not 120 something years old. Like she still does look fine. Like it's not like she can't sit there and get a man. Like you just like, oh well, I'm done with romance. Like, what do you mean you're done with romance? Like, kind of weird shit is that? Like, are you a nut, Doctor? No, fire who was killed by home. Yep, yeah, you're right. I thought it was done by Keep Persistent, but never mind. You're right. Exactly. That's what I was like. It's like, yo, my point is that she's still got a light. She's still got a lot of life to live. Why the fuck are they not hooking up with a man? I mean, you're hooking Molly up with Cody, right? People love Cody with Sasha, and then you made them cousins. So now you decide to break up TJ and Molly, kill off a black baby, which I'm still gonna sit there and say, but you got nothing. But you got nothing for Alexis, the chick that has been on since 1996. She's been on since the mid fucking. Let's do a classic so trivia contest. I am way too tipsy for that, but if y'all want to do that, then yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, I'm not really that knowledgeable on it, but that's something that we can sit there and do for like next Friday. I'll definitely be up for that for next Friday, provided I'm sober. They'll definitely be up for next Friday. Actually, sounds kind of fun. No, they don't need to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they have history, but I feel like I'm gonna be honest, Rick has done some really shitty stuff to Alexis. And I mean, like really, really, really bad. Um, okay, so I'll give you an example. I remember Alexis was going through chemo, and she decided to use some Mary Jane. Rick got her arrested. She he literally sat there and like got Alexis in trouble while she was going through chemo. I'm not gonna lie, it's like, yo, listen, I like Rick, but like there's certain lines I'm just like, bro, there's low, there is low, and then there is that. Bro, Broski crossed that line. Like he got her arrested. He got her arrested because she decided to get some Mary Jane to, help with the symptoms and stuff. He knew what she was going through. But because Rick was so fucking vile, that's what he decided to do. That's a damn good question. It's really funny, CK. So, like, we have not talked about Beyond the Gates. Um, I think that Samantha's a fucking idiot. Her, it's a sad thing is that, like, on some level, I'm not gonna lie, as annoying as she was, she had a point. You know, Smitty and Martin didn't flip out on Tyrell when he had a girl and he was hooking up with her. With Samantha, they sat there and they ground that chick for a whole fucking month. Now, I don't like the fact that they sat there and said, oh, well, the patriarchy this and the patriarchy that. Because let's be honest, when you're in a relationship with me, it will be somewhat the fucking patriarchy. But with that being said, yeah, there is a level of double standard. There was a level of double standard. That's when Jessica pulled out the most goofiest fucking part, where she wanted to sit there and try to practice her mediating skills. And I'm just like, and ultimately, it got Tyrell Brown. I'm like, you did all that, and then you just got your boyfriend grounded. No, they were being hypocrites. They were like they were being hypocrites. That's the bottom line. Like she was right. I'm not gonna lie, she kind of went about it in a most babyish, like 9-year old kind of way. Like, it's not fair. You didn't sit there and ground her. You didn't ground him. You was being a lot more harder. I was like, yo, part of me was like, I want to sit there and say it was like, girl, you act like you in high school. But technically, she was in high school, so I couldn't really sit there and be like, damn, girl, you acting mad and immature. But I'm like, well, she is supposed to be a 16-year-old girl. More explained. One explanation is because Terrell is about to turn 18, go to college. He doesn't need to be treated like a kid. Yes, and I got that, and we all understood that. We all understood that I got that. But at the end of the day, let's be honest, that was fucking hypocritical. That was hypocritical. If we're gonna be real, regardless of what his explanation was, he was still being a hypocrite. And if we're gonna be honest, he also came across as being sexist. Like, let's just be fucking real. He did come across as being sexist, but like, her acting like a fucking baby about it was like, oh my god, are you serious? Rana, are they? Yeah, they're teenagers. Even though the chick that plays Samantha is like in her 30s, like in her mid 30s, and she looks like she's 30. Yeah, like, I mean, it's the truth. Like, let's just be real here. And trust me, I'm not gonna lie, that scene was annoying as fuck to get through. Like, it was annoying as fuck to get through, but I was like, and that's the thing. As much as I don't like Samantha, and I really don't like Samantha, I was like, she got a point. I was like, she got a point. Her and all her annoyance, she got a fucking point. Seriously, she actually just turned 30 last year. Okay, well, she might have chronologically turned 30, but she looks like she is in her mid 30s, going fucking 40. She looked like she's in her mid 30s. That's She looked like she's in her mid 30s. That's funny, like 902 on you know, one day when I'm really bored, and I mean like I gotta have like nothing on the docket, nothing ready to watch. Maybe I will watch 902 on Maybe I will watch 902 on I don't know. I feel like when I watched it, I was a kid, and there was so many things that went over my head. I feel like I would be able to process it now that I'm an adult. It's like married children. I laughed at a lot of stuff, but it went over my head. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I was Saved by the Bell, right? And most of that stuff I kind of got because I was whatever. It was his at first, but it wasn't the proper after. It was his at first, but it wasn't. But it went in the Cooper after a while. It was at first, but it went in the Cooper after a while. I don't know what that means. Cooper after a while. You know what? Always okay. You know what? They weren't real teenagers. No, you're right. They weren't real teenagers. You're right, Allison. You know, I just okay. So This is what I wonder, right? So Latasha says Michael and Jacinta need to team up and take Willow down. And then what? No, I got you off of that. But like, okay, so let's sit there and say you get Willow, you get rid of Willow. Who's next? You take down Willow, you take down Joel. Who's next? See, my point is that like people love to hate a good villain. But what happens when that villain's gone? Because I mean, let's be honest. You gotta have somebody to sit there and hate, right? I mean, the show needs a villain, and I think that Willow and Drew serves really good as villains. So my point is that like I feel like people can't wait until Willow is off the TV, off their screens or whatever. Until what? Because without Willow and Drew, what the fuck do you really have? Like I've heard people sit there, and then it comes another villain, and then what happens? And then what? And then there's people that don't want to sit on the show. I mean, my point is, Upper Doc, is that like you need a villain on the show. Like people are just like trying to plot and be like, oh well, Willow needs to go down and Drew needs to go down, and then what? Like and then what? Like that's my whole point. It's like you need a good fucking villain on the show. Angelica says, let's just say both Sasha and Willow and are always going to be judgmental towards other people. Period. On General Hospital. Oh, okay, Angelica. Yeah, you need goddamn. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's my point. You need villains. Maybe I think what it comes down to is that there are villains, and then there are villains that overstay their welcome. Yeah, like I said, like I just feel a lot of times people just like I want Willow to go down, and I want Willow to get everything she deserves, and then what? I want Drew to sit there and be going off my TV screen, and then what? And then what? Oh yes, but that's the problem. That's the thing, Jonathan. That's the good thing and the bad thing because, like, for me personally, I like that Kristen's a villain. I just think that this shit went too far. Let me put it this way, Jonathan. You remember when EJ and Kristen got tied up and kidnapped by Megan, and Megan was ready to sit there and kill both of them. And EJ and Kristen was like, "Whoa, listen, we may plot against each other. We may sit there and be like, okay, we're gonna take each other down. We ain't killing each other. We're not killing family. That's what we're not doing." That was kind of like a little pose, like, yo, listen, we'll plot, we'll scheme, we'll do whatever. We're not killing each other. Fucking Kristen just broke that goddamn rule, and I'm like, girl, you're no better than Megan at this point. Angelica said Albert, and besides, both of them had their fair share of mistakes they made towards each other. Yes. Um, there will be a new villain. Some villains can stay around for years, but others are meant to be effective villains for a short time. Willow and Drew aren't meant to be iconic villains. You may be right, but they're here. And until the writers decide to sit there and make better villains or next villains, these are the villains that you got. Let's be honest, GH is not known for sitting there being expedient when it comes towards their writing and what kind of new villains that they have coming out. So my whole thing is, as much as people don't like Willow and Drew, be glad that they are here, because if they're not here, it's not like GH is like fast tracking, like, you know. Yeah, that's true. But why not have Sitwell, Drew, and Willow, right? Why not? Why just have one villain of the week? I mean, they used to do that, I guess, but like times change. People attention spans have shortened. So maybe the show right now kind of needs or three villains: Drew, Willow, and Sitwell, and Ross. Yeah. I have to look that up to sit there and see if the acting's going away. I mean, it's not like Kasha's idea is bad. Lulu just wants to sit there and be pigheaded. Oh, Cyrus. Okay, so I'm glad you did bring that up, Doja. Cyrus, right? I've been trying to classify Sitwell. What kind of villain is Sitwell? So what I mean by that, Cyrus was a drug dealer and a mobster in a sense. The Alcazars, they were arms dealers. Manny Louise, okay, um, Jerry Jacks. I mean, let's be honest. Dude was a fucking terrorist. But what is Sitwell? How do you classify Sitwell? Like, okay, so like I said, Cyrus, he was a drug dealer. You know, he was a drug dealer, a mobster, whatever. But what is Sitwell now? That heated fight he and Kristen had was top notch, old school. Who do you think will expose Cassius? Tracy, I wouldn't be too surprised if it wouldn't be James. I wouldn't be too surprised if it wasn't James. And Tracy says they need to bring Jerry Jacks back. I agree. I like Jerry Jacks. I I think his name is Sebastian. He, that actor, when he plays villain, is almost like he is method acting. Like between Jerry Jacks and Michael Michelson, that dude is intimidating as shit. Rocco's not going anywhere now. He's going to figure out what Rocco did, and he is never going to get over Lulu keeping. Oh yeah, he is going to go fucking ballistic when he finds out. When he finds out that Lulu and fake Nathan kept that chip from him, oh, it's gonna be a wrap for Lulu. It's gonna be a wrap for Lulu, and I'm gonna be so fucking here for it. Yeah, I think it'd be cool if it was James. I mean, the dude does. Okay. It's actually really funny. So, do y'all remember Violet? Remember Violet? Remember how people sat there and said that Violet talked too much? She was very intrusive. She would sit there and be lingering in adult conversations. James does the exact same fucking thing, and yet I don't sit there and see people giving him the same amount of pushback that they gave Violet. And Jerry Jackson's on point. James is just as intrusive as Violet. But people used to constantly sit there and say, Violet needs to stay in the child's place. Violet be doing too much talking. Violet doesn't need, Violet needs to sit there and mind her own business. And yet fucking James does the exact same goddamn thing. So like, I don't know. I find it funny. Like Broski literally does the exact same thing that she does. I'm like, really? I don't know. I don't know. Miss Lawrence was fucking great, and we do got to do a Miss Lawrence thing. You're right. Also, don't forget, well, like I said, I know it's kind of late, so if you can send me the clips tomorrow, that'd be really good because that'll definitely help with Sunday. I didn't want you to forget. Thank you, Jonathan. James and Violet both would get into adult conversations as cute and precious. CK, you got a good sense of humor. I like that. Cute and precocious. Okay, I needed that laugh. That was good. That was good. Thank you, CK. Like I said, I've noticed that, and I'm just like, wow. So like, we we just gonna get double standards. I mean, that's when Michael Eastwood was on the show playing what character did he play again? It wasn't Hamilton Finn, right? Oh, it was Hamilton Finn. What? Was Michael Easton's last character Hamilton Finn? Yeah, what character did he play? Cyrus. Okay, yeah, it was Hamilton Finn. What is he doing now? Thank you, CK. Thank you, Jonathan. Michael Eastwood. Uh, General Hospital, Michael Eastwood. What could be it, bitch? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to sit there and see. Oh, you're fucking telling me. Easton, thank you. Holy shit. Thank you. Holy shit. I said I said Eastwood, and it gave me something completely fucking different. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Allison. Oh, okay. And he's on nothing. Oh, wow. Okay, he was on a show called Mutant X, but like, oh, okay, he ain't got nothing going on. I'm gonna make sure. I don't think he got nothing going on. Oh, shit. Apparently, he does graphic novels. Okay, all right. Well, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Weiner has the budget for all these actors and still can't get it right with their explosives. I promise you that you can make an AI video. Oh, that's funny. That's funny, Ego. VR5. Wow. Yeah, you know, Rick is very suspicious of Ethan. I'm not gonna lie, Tracy. There was a point where like Rick was like, you should offer him like 50K, right? And Sonny was like, hey, listen, I can make your promises go away for 30K if you need help with something. I'm like, I'm pretty sure Rick said you should offer him 50K. And then he said 30K. I was like, no, 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 those two numbers don't sound the same. I was like, bro, why you sit there lowball him? Like, what if he did really do it for like 50K? Exactly, Tracy. I was like, I'm pretty sure Rick said I'm pretty sure Rick said 50K, like yard five. Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't like I said, I didn't know he was actually interesting. Okay. What if he is really working for Cipro? Then that would definitely be interesting. That would definitely be interesting. I'm gonna have to look at this guy's IMB later on. But I went to his website and it's like, oh, he's promoting a graphic novel, which I'm like, okay, that's cool, but like, and he is acting like he hates him. PK says Sonny was trying to lowball Ethan. Sonny does know that Ethan is a con man. I just, like I said, I found it funny. I was like, bro, I was like, and granted, Rick offered that test in the most sloppiest way possible. So at the end of it, Ethan was like, Rick put you up for it, right? They started laughing, and it was like, oh, Ethan is so smart. I was like, Ethan's not really smart in the situation. It's just that Rick was kind of a dumbass by saying, hey, Sonny, remember what we talked about before, right? Okay, let me know. Of course, he's going to sit there and think, oh, that test was, that test was propped up by Rick. Because you were so fucking obvious with it. And the sad thing is that, like, I used to sit there and call Rick Slick Rick. I don't know if I can sit there and call him Slick Rick. I don't know if he was on the phone with someone when he first got the Port Charles. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, I see. Yeah, sure. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, that test was sloppy as hell. Super, super sloppy. You're fucking ugly. Very bad. I guess he really hasn't. I guess he really hasn't been doing anything. Justin says, "What do you think of Holly and Tate last conversation with Sophia?" She went off on him, and listen. I totally agree with everything that Holly Smith is saying. Was it harsh? Yes. But when you push somebody too far, you push them and push them and push them. they're going to sit there and fire back at you. Now, I know Holly's going to sit there and feel bad about it later on, especially after the whole, you know, the self deletion note. But in our reality, I don't think she should. She was a nasty, miserable, spiteful human being that blamed all her problems on other people. And after everything that she wound up doing, I don't feel bad for her. I don't feel bad for her at all. I really don't. Um, and trust me, I can sit there and say worse things right now, and I'm not going to, despite how much I've been drinking. But like, she went on herself, and what's worse is that she sits there and blames other people for the things that she's done. I think they give Robert what they say, so they gave Robert. I don't remember. Oh, I don't know. I just know that I am so not looking forward towards that. When they start to do this whole tribute thing, like I can't. Like I can't. I won't do it. I refuse. Um, and I know people are like really looking forward towards that. She worked on herself. Like I said, she sat there and she spread out her legs before she was ready to have a baby. She blamed everything on Johnny. It was all Johnny's fault, this, that, and the third. She was ready to sit there and not just end Johnny's life, but hurt everybody else in that building. And it was just like, oh, well, it's just going to be your fault. So, in reality, I don't give a damn about how Sophia felt. I don't give a damn about how Amy's going to feel afterwards. I simply just don't give a shit. She was a nasty, spiteful human being. And, yeah, I just have nothing positive. Yeah. But, it's Kristen. She's a demure. She has money. So I don't think that, like, that would just be a slam dunk case, though. Money, influence, you know, not exactly a slam dunk. And that's the truth from that. But you know what's really crazy to me, though? Okay, so Brady detests Kristen. I was watching the tail end of it when she was sneaking back into town just to see Brady. And Brady was in love with Kristen. Like, they had this whole epic little love story going on. And, like, he fucking loved that one. Now everything is all pure hatred and stuff like that. But there was a point that I watched it, and it was like, Angelica says, wait, Albert, did Sasha ran over Harmony as yeah, she ran her over. Yeah, she ran over. Yes, she did. I don't remember if she was like coked out or whatever, but like she did run her over. It was so long ago. I actually had to sit there and think about that. Like I said, it was definitely a rookie move, Tracy. Definitely a fucking rookie move. Um, it was definitely a rookie move based off of emotions, and that's exactly what Carly said. But Carly was not there being somewhat jealous, and I'm like, girl, you done sat there and literally played mattress tag with Jack, and you have the audacity to sit there and get jealous? Like, are you serious? Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream here. I do got some laundry to do in the morning before I get ready to buckle in and do some stuff for the stream. And I don't want to sleep too late since I was training. I'm in the stream here. Members, I'll be back tomorrow. If you're not a member, make sure you join. I'll see everybody else on Wednesday. We'll have obviously we'll have fun. Yeah. That being said, I'm gonna sit there and have a good night to everyone. Have a good night, Tracy. Have a good night, Angelica. Have a good night, Latasha. Have a good night, CK. Have a good night, Blackmon, aka Mr. GQ. Join us next time for another edition of So Chat with Dr. Bostic. Thank you. Thank you, CK. Thank you, my gorgeous green cat lady who just like totally disappeared like midway through the stream because I told her to just bring it down a little bit. I love that woman. It's so funny. It's like the minute I say something to her, she is like super upset. But like she can say all the jokes in the world to me. So it's thank you, Jonathan. Yes, hit that like button because it really does help. Seriously, it does. It really does. It gives me an algorithm. It gives me new subscribers, new people like Angelica who just came into the stream, and somebody else who also came into the stream. But it does help. So yeah, make sure you do hit the like button. Hit the like button, share. I am doing some new shorts, so definitely check that out. And it's gonna be good. So definitely check those out. Have a night, Blackmon, Tracy Steves, CK, Cherry Ice Cream, Allison, Cherry Ice Cream, Allison, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.